Hey, long time no see. I'm Kit Kennedy. If you found this video because you typed spiritual warfare and the occult into YouTube, you've come to the right place. Well, almost the right place. The right place is actually my blog where I've got the whole thing spelt out, but I wanted to tell you a bit about the blog post first, and I wanted to just encourage you that if you've got some concerns in this area and that's what's led you to, search it, it's possibly for a very good reason. Spiritual warfare in Christian practice. I mean, it's changed a lot over the years. We've always had intercessory prayer, and that's something that we see in the Bible. We've always had prayer in different iterations, but since the neo-charismatic movement, where that's really changed is we've now got some interesting and pretty dicey spiritual practices. C. Peter Wagner, he introduced spiritual mapping back in the 90s, and since then there's been some really interesting practices that have woven their way in and out. What I did for the blog series is I actually spoke to a friend of mine who was a Christian. She went to a church that was in the same network as mine. Both of us have since moved on from those churches, but she's actually become a witch. So what better place to compare occultism and occult practices with modern practices of Christian spiritual warfare? And I have to say the similarities were quite alarming to me. Alarming because I believe we need to know what we believe and why. We need to know whether God actually told us to do something or whether we're being swept along with some wind of doctrine that is not actually biblical, that just seems like a good idea. Now, I believe that a strong faith, a watchful faith, is one that is really well informed by the Word of God. The Word of God being the Bible, not extra biblical revelation. The Bible cautions us against that. So what I've done is I've actually written the first blog post, and the second blog post will be going up by the 12th of May, and I hope you really enjoy it. Well, I hope you really find the answers there that you want. It's a lot better than video because it actually maps it out on paper and you'll be able to read things over and over again if you need to. Again, I encourage you for actually kind of typing this search question in, because if there's something there that's curious, it's really sometimes your conscience speaking to you about what you need to investigate. I've done some of the investigation for you. I hope it makes your search a little easier. Thank you. See you over at the blog, link below.